we chant a lot, we sing a lot when you're with our people. Constantly will close a space with a song. We will open a space with a song, with a prayer, or a tauparapara, where we are acknowledging everything around us. We come last. The purpose of this prayer is to trace our mountains from the west to the east.
こんにちは。キャオラー。みこずジャーニーへようこそ。今日は、私のマオリのね、シャーマンシスターアミリアを、ニュージーランド、本当のね名前はアオテアロアという国の名前です。アオテアロアよりアミリアをお迎えして今日お届けしたいと思います。Welcome Amiria. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Tēnā koe te tuahine ka nui te aroha ki a koe, ki a koutou, e te whānau, e te whānau o ngā haue whā, to our rainbow family in all 8 directions. Greetings from Taranaki Maunga, ki rongi te ika a Maui, tiki tiki a Tāranga, me te ha te wenua o te ika, the North Islands of Aotearoa, New Zealand. Kia ora.
はい、ありがとうございます。今アメリアはニュージーランド、アオテアロアはね、北島と南島っていうのがね、2つの島でできてるんですけれども、彼女は今北島の方からに今住んでおります。はい。では、そうですね、アミリアとなんか出会ったきっかけみたいなのがあるんですけど、私がアミリアと出会ったのは確か2021年にね、ハワイ島を出て、夏至に日本に突然帰ってくるんですけれども、その流れもね、ハワイのシャーマンより夏至に日本に帰りなさいって言われたのと、あなたのスピリットがハワイからつながっていて、ハワイはもっと大きいハワイ域というもっと大きな場所でハワイっていうスピリットがあったんだと。でそこにつながっている場所がニュージーランドなので、あなたはニュージーランドのドラゴンにつながるシャーマンに会うようにというお告げだけを受けてですね、私は2021年の夏至に日本に突然帰ってきたんですけれども、その不思議なお告げを受けた後に本当にこのニュージーランドで、ドラゴンを操るね女性シャーマンアミリアに私は出会ったんです。
Beautiful.
Yeah. So you remember when I met you first time? We went to very interesting journey together.
Yes. I think it's the prophecy of the ancient ones here in Te Ao Māori, Māohi, Māole, Māori is the tipua or the supernatural beings, the ancient beings that have for millennia since time immortal, we have been guided and protected by the unseen mysteries. And ever since I was a little girl, I could feel the presence of greatness beyond the human realm and greatness into the unseen. And so here within our people, the Taniwha lineage, or you would call them the dragon lineage, were the keepers and the guardians of sacred sites and the keepers of vast wisdoms pertaining to specific mountains and waters and waterways. And truly over the last 5 years, I would say, yes, sister, they have really revealed themselves to be very present with us. They have returned in an incredible way to support in the higher work on a planetary level.
はい、アミリアとね、出会っ ってニュージーランドでもう3回ぐらいですかね、私行かせていただいたんですけれども、本当にある時は土砂降りの雨の中、携帯が水没するぐらいポケットの中に入れた携帯が水没するぐらい雨が降る中ね、ご先祖様が導いた約束の地に行かないといけないって言って、すごく寒かったんですけど、一緒にそういう場所を目指して行ったりとかですね、彼女と一緒にいるとすごいやっぱ時空を超えて、私たちは多分この地球が変わるタイミングでもう一度世界で出会い直して、過去やってたいろんなシャーマニックな約束を今世で紡いでいるんだなっていうのを感じながら、ご縁を大切にしてきた仲間なんですね。で、マオリの歴史、またはその彼女の属するワイタハ族の歴史についてちょっとお聞きしてみたいなと思います。
はい、kia ora Miko. It is truly times where those that have been chosen to live in purpose and in alignment with one's higher soul calling as presidents. I think we only need to look in front of us to see we are in times of universal and prophetic change. Indigenous nations all around the world are speaking to not only the collapse of the material and the physical world, but to looking to ancient wisdoms and knowledge systems to support us and guide us home. And when I say home to our celestial origins. And what does that mean? And what does that encompass? I think when we see through the hyper fragmentation of collective humanity, and those that are courageous and bold to step forward to answer these prayers and these calls, it is a rite of passage. In Te Ao Māori, we would call that a tohi, or a transition. We're at the cusp, the thresholds of new earth. And through that process, we are challenged beyond worlds and beyond being challenged like ever before. And yes, so I acknowledge you, Miko, when you speak to what we have journeyed and been through together as medicine sisters. When I look back into the far reaches of my knowing as a mokopono, as a granddaughter of Hine Nui Te Rā, me Hine Raumati, me te kāhui maunga, i te taho o koro taranaki, me te waitaha, me wai ariki, and the ancient lines of Te Kāhui Tipua. There were many, many nations that dwelled here in these lands, even going back before Waitaha to the realm of the giants. This is not mythology. This is historically written within our lands. Waitaha were and are, we are the grandchildren, were the earlier nations that settled here in Aotearoa before the later migrations or canoe migrations of the Māori. There were other nations as well, the Rapu Wai, the Wai Ariki, many, many other nations that dwelled as a larger family within our lands here. Waitaha were a peaceful matriarchal people. They were guided by the wisdoms of the grandmothers and of the ancient deities or the feminine, we don't really use the word goddesses, but deities, the female deities that encompassed the land. We are returning to these ways, to the ancient wisdoms that have for a long time been hidden out of fear and out of, I think, a process of colonization. returning to these ancient ways. Waitaha were star walkers. They were master navigators that circumnavigated the Moana Nui a Kiwa, or the Pacific Ocean, going back as far as Rapa Nui, across to Wharekauire Nui, or we call the Turtle Islands. Even there are cave dwellings and drawings of our people in certain parts of Peru, of Lake Titicaca and other incredible sacred sites that are around the world. I've known elders that have spoken about our lineage and our migrations from Egypt, and then further back even to Mesopotamia in times of old. I know for myself and my journeying and my knowing through my medicine walk, I have traced my lineage and my DNA, so many lives, past lives, back to these lands. I think we're in a time now we are needing to see beyond even our own cultures to the unification of Ra, Ngāti Ra, as Kuia Rangimari Turiki Rose Pere would say, into the realm of the Rainbow Nation, which we call Ra, Ra as in the sun, Ngāti as in the collective or the hapu, the collective of people, and Ra, so Ra, Ngāti Ra. She spoke of a time where indigenous nations from around the world will come together and unify and whakapiri, come together during times of great conflict and war, and that these messengers and prayer keepers and chosen souls will complete this mission and this prayer on earth to uplift the frequency, to amplify te ihi rangaranga, and to raise the vibration of not only the planets but of the people. That time is now. We are here, as you know, Miko. Very, very much so.
はい、ありがとうございます。すごい、深いお話でしたね。まさか、ね、ワイタ派の方がレイクチチカカというね、ペルーまでつながっているっていう話が出てきましたからね。私、今の話で思い出したんですよ。私がね、初めて、2023年の、2023年の5月15日だったと思います。私、チチカカ湖に行くっていうメッセージが降りてきた時になんと1日前にアミリアからそういえば連絡をもらってたんですよ。思い出しました今。でアミリアの連絡がミコレイクチチカカが私を呼んでいるって言ったんですよ。でそれでアミリアもなのってなって、私も今レイクチチカカが呼んでてって言って行ってくるよっていう話が、そういえば2、3年前ですね、あったことを今この会話で思い出しました。でもそのレイクチチカカのことをなぜアミリアが言ったのかは私はその時分からなかったんですけど、今の話のシェアを聞いて、なるほど、ワイタ派はレイクチチカカにも行ってたんだっていうことが分かりましたね。はい、なんかもういろんな方面からこうやってつながっていくこと自体がまさになんか虹の家族が集まっているっていう証拠ですよね。はい。私はねいろんな国の先住民の方々とご縁があることがありまして、そして彼らが話している伝承についていろいろ彼らがシェアしてくれるんですね。で彼らはだいたいこの星からやってきたっていうスターピーポーたちなんですね。で星からやってきて、その星が結構プレアデス経由で来てる方がすごく多いんですけど、でこの今地球が、大変化の時に虹の予言といって虹で渡って私たちがその架け橋になって地球を結んでいくっていう、そういう予言がいろんな部族の中に残されていて、その話を私はお聞きして紡いでいっている感じなんですけれども、アミリアにもねぜひそのマオリってどこの星から来たっていうストーリーなのかっていう話と、あとその虹の架け橋の予言についてマオリ的に、今言ってくれたことかもしれないんですけど、ちょっともう一回お聞きできたらなと思います。
I'm definitely no Maori astronomer, but I am, like you, a student, a devoted student, and I also love to listen. I love to listen to the stories of the old ones. I love to listen to, we are an oral people, like many indigenous, so our cosmologies and our puking, or our knowledge systems, were retained through thousands of years of reciting or incantation. Katangi te titi, katangi te kaka, katangi te huki aho. That's a specific cluster, if you must, of kupu, of words, takes us back to when the waka, our people said, when the waka arrived to Aotearoa and they could sight the land from out on the canoes, on the waters, on the oceans, that the bird song was so loud they could not even hear each other speak. That the bird song was deafening, and we have a titi and a kaka, but if you put that together, titi kaka, it is linguistically they're speaking to Lake Titicaca. So if we trace our lineage back, it is contains the most sacred of texts, if you must, is contained through incantation. As Miko knows, we chant a lot, we sing a lot. When you're with our people, we constantly will close a space with a song. We will open a space with a song, with a prayer, or a tauparapara, where we are acknowledging everything around us. We come last. So, ko taranaki te maunga, I acknowledge my mountain. We are dancing with mountains. We are grandchildren of the mountains. We are direct descendants of the ancient stone people, which are the mountains. What was profound with Waitaha and also with Maori and the Pacific people in general, the Pacific nation as a whole, is master navigators. Master navigators that mapped and traced the pathway of the stars. We call Pleiades mata riki. Mata, or te karu, the eyes of that were thrown into the celestial womb, or te ariki, the chiefly stars that exist, o ngā tā whirimatia, through the winds of the wind god of the Atua, tā whirimatia, who governs the winds. So we celebrate here every June. We now have an official holiday called Matariki, which celebrates a day of celebrations for the Pleiades, or Matariki. In Hawaii, it's Matali'i. Yes?
Makali'i.
Makali'i. We have quite profound Māori astronomers and elders that have reinvigorated and recovered a lot of our ancient kōrero, or our stories pertaining to the stars. Within our people, everything begins celestially. Everything is supernatural. It is, it governs everything in our world. We are in a constant union and communion with the unseen and with the supernatural ones. But when it comes to the stars, ehua, I can't go any deeper than that, because I'm not an astronomer, but my people devote a lot of time also with tracking the maramataka, the moon cycle. So every day is tracked with the moon cycles, and they govern the different moods. how we operate as a people, when we fish, when we plant foods, when we know to take the waka out onto the oceans, when we know to be still to avoid negative energies. So we track the compass of the moon and of the stars too, as relationally through life itself.
いや今の話聞いてまたね思い出したんですけど、私ニュージーランドに行った時に、ニュージーランドとハワイ島をね祈りでつなげるっていうミッションで行ったんですけど、初めて北島に行った時にGPS でね地図を見て、一番物理的にハワイに近いところに行くっていうことを決めて、行ったこともないし知り合いもいないし喋れないんですけれどもみたいな、マオリ語もねわからない中、ここはすごいマオリの聖地だよって言われながらその場所にたどり着いたんですね。それで大きな木が教えてくれたんですよ。ここだよっていう場所を。で、私その木の前に実は馬が現れて、海なのに白い馬が突然私の前に海から現れたんですよ。で、その白い馬があなたの祈る場所はここだよって教えてくれたんですよ。そしたらその海のとこに行ったらすんごい大きな木があって、そこで私はそのハワイ島に向けて祈りを捧げたっていうことがあったんですけど、で実はその後に蜂蜜養蜂所で出会ったマオリの人たちにシェアしたら、あなたはとっても完璧な場所に導かれたねって言われて、なんでですかって言ったら、だってここからプレアデスが上がるからって言われたんですよ。プレアデスがここから上がるのと、あと今年世界で初めて先住民の休日が、ナショナルホリデーとしてね認められた。それがそのプレアデスのねお祭り。その時に私その場所にたどり着いて、何も知らずにそれでハワイに捧げたっていうのがあったんですけど、なんか彼女とお話ししてると過去いろいろあった面白いことを今思い出しました。
It is now. Matariki. I've heard elders say there's different variations of story pertaining to different nations or iwi. I've heard a Māori astronomer say there are 9 stars in the Pleiades, and then I've heard another elder say there are 8. So the story and the truth varies from hapu to hapu, from nation to nation. I think what is beautiful is, since for tens of thousands of years, even longer, our people have used the migration of the stars as trackers of time and space. There is kōrero around our ariki, or our chosen ones, our chiefly ones, that are both navigators. You are what you were just sharing with me, Miko. You are a navigator. You are a navigator of time and space. I feel I am a navigator. I may not be out there on a canoe, on a waka in the middle of the ocean, but I am navigating in the ways in which my ancestors did in ancient times. Because when we receive, our compass is spirit, yes? And we are finely attuned, like a tuning fork to spirit. So when we receive instruction from the unseen, without doubt and without fear and without all the human emotion, we cut through that to honor an instruction or a pathway forwards. Why are we doing that? We're doing that to be of service and to devote ourselves to the ancient ones and to our earth. Our people have always aligned celestially and marked time through when that is in complete alignment over a kohatu, a stone elder. It's te atua o ngā, te waka o te kohatu o ngā atua ariki, down on the South Island. We're tracking time. We're tracking time and space celestially, and then through the stone people, So that is a language that is taking place there, yeah, between stone and star. And that there, I feel, has been a way of writing our histories since the beginning of time, through stone and through star. We really, truly, it's not something we should take lightly. We're in times of great unfolding. We're in times where we have access to our tuatanga, our supernatural abilities, and our ways in which we can coexist in this world to be of greater service beyond the construct of society. We have always mastered ancient technologies. We have always mastered ko momo, the arts of telepathy, and he matakiti, the a farseer and someone. When we speak of prophecy, what are we speaking about? We're not predicting the future. We are purely recovering the secrets hidden that have for too long been hidden in the unseen and in the darkness. So we're revealing, we are reading what has already presented itself through historical records, and then we are attuning ourselves to the messages left from the ancients and the messages that have been left from our ancestors.
素晴らしい深い内容でしたね。でも日本もまさにね、古代の岩倉信仰とか今もね、大きな巨石がたくさん日本には残されていて、でその巨石がね、また星の方向を向いているんですよね、ちゃんと。私のすごく尊敬している仲良しな、超古代巨石文明研究家、ペトログリフ研究家のね、竹内先生っていう方がいらっしゃいますけれども、竹内先生とかとね、阿蘇の方に行ったら8000年前のオリオン座を信仰している石のストーンサークルに連れてってもらったりとかですね、大きな岩倉はやはり、その当時のプレアデスの下に、ちゃんと祀られているっていう、その日本にもまさにその石と星をつなぐ信仰っていうのが今もというか古代から残されている信仰なので、本当に彼女の話を聞いて、我々本当にご先祖様みんなつながってるんだなっていう、海洋民族だなっていうのをすごく感じました。海洋民族っていうのはGPS をね、古代持たなかったので、全部星の導きによってお祈りでご先祖様を呼んで、星のナビゲートによってそのカヌーを動かし航海したっていうのが海洋民族ですので、まさにその同じ血脈というかね、つながっているんだなっていうのを今の話を聞いてすごい感じました。今回ね、そのアミリアにYouTube に登場してもらったきっかけがありまして、実は、2月の末にまた、アミリアの今いらっしゃる北島の方で虹の架け橋の予言というマオリの予言に基づいたギャザリングが行われるんですね。で、私もそこに参加させていただくんですけれども、実は2年前にもギャザリングがありまして、そこにもね参加させていただいたんですね。はい。で、今回2回目になるんですけれども、このギャザリングに関してはちょっと祈る人たちだけのそのプライベートなギャザリングにはなるんですけれども、このギャザリングをするにあたってそれを行うための費用を賄えなければいけないんですけれども、それがまだちょっと足りていないので、ぜひ今回アミリアに今回の2月に行われるギャザリングについてシェアしていただいて、ぜひ皆さんもお気持ちをサポートしていただけたら嬉しいなと思いまして、今回そのギャザリングのことについてちょっとどういう内容で今回2月このタイミングでやろうとされているのかっていうのをちょっとアミリアに聞いていきたいと思います。
Kahukura Awatea, gathering of indigenous prayer keepers, prayers of prophecy. It was very much birthed through the instruction of navigators, of the dreaming of the whale nation, our ancestors, and of the migration of our mountains. And when I speak to the migration of our mountains, we look to our mountains as sustenance, spiritually and physically. They govern all. Here in Aotearoa, Hawaii ki Toto, the pulse of Papa Tuanuku, Earth Mother, we are the land of first lights. I te tihi o Hikurangi Maunga, our timekeeper of Tairāwhiti of the East Coast, where Miko has traveled to. It is the first place in the entire world to be kissed by the sun. The oro oro, or the frequency which is contained within the first rays of the sun, are held within every molecule of this land. We are one of the largest land masses left of Mu, or Murere, or the New Age terminology now is more known as Lumeria. Aotearoa is the largest landmass left of our ancient continents. Now, when we sit with that and we consider that and reflect upon that, what does that mean? That means we have a great responsibility to gather with other specific lineages and holders of DNA to respond to these times of chaos. Our purpose and the dreaming of Kahukura Awatea is to gather the people. We had in 2024, there was just under 200 people at our gathering. This time we have decided to refine it and just focus purely on shaman and elders and tohunga and those that are keepers of specific medicine. The purpose of this prayer is to trace our mountains from the west to the east. So we're tracing the reversal trail of the sun. Over 10 days we will be in prayer and visiting very sacred and profound places along the way. It is a unification of chosen souls that have been called forth to respond to this time, to assist in raising the frequency of Earth, of Mother Earth, Papa Tuanuku, and of Ira Tangata, the human and the greater human family. It is also to discuss this great time of purification, to plan and to prepare for great changes that are going to come geographically and physically in our worlds. I think majority of humanity are distracted, and this particular prayer gathering is focused on creating solution and positive movement moving forward in which we can share beyond. I think people underestimate the power of prayer and the power of gathering and as a collective to empower and enhance spiritual healing on a planetary level. Yes.
そうなんですよね。2年前も行かせていただいた時に、ちょうどその時にね、神話系 YouTuber のね、トゥーランド Vlog とかね、一緒にお友達なのでね、お連れしてニュージーランドのセレモニーに、あの時は参加してたんですけど、 もう本当にその4日間のセレモニーの内容がものすごく濃厚で、なんか違う次元に飛ばされたような、夜中も火を囲んでみんなでお話ししたりとかですね、本当に時を超えて虹の架け橋の仲間たちが世界中から集まった、ものすごく尊い4日間だったことを覚えております。はい。続いて第2弾ということで、来月2月に、この会が行われるんですけれども、私自身は日本人なんですけど、実はそのハワイの代表者として、私が学んでいる古典フラカヒコの、先生、クムエフラニ先生のもとで、今回も、前回もそうだったんですけど、出させていただきます。なんかこういう形もすごく面白いなと思いまして、日本人なんだけどハワイの代表者として、ニュージーランドアオテアロアに捧げるという、なんかすでにもう私の中でこう虹をね、本当に架け橋として渡っている感覚がする、はい、そんな感じなんですけれども、2月に私もこのセレモニーに参加させていただこうと思っております。
To be very different, sister. Very small. But I think even more powerful because we're going to have more time to be very intimate with each other, and we're going to be together for a longer time, 10 days, and we're going to be in different places as well. So I guess, yes.
Yeah, either way, it's so exciting no matter
It
what.
is exciting. I think the smaller gatherings are the more powerful ones. And I feel like people go a lot deeper when there are less people around. Do you understand?
Yes.
People are more open, they're more receptive, they're more, it's just going to be the shaman and the tohunga, the knowledge keepers. So not everyone else that are going to be watching. So.
そうですね。はい。前回はね、その、大きなギャザリングを開くにあたって、その、オブザーバーの方というか、その、セレモニーに参加できる方ということで、ドネーションを集めて、このギャザリングが開催できたんですけれども、今回は、その、祈りの方だけを集める会にしたいということで、逆に言えば皆さん、私も含めてなんですけど、皆さん、実費でね、これは、自分の意思でこのニュージーランドに集まって祈りを捧げさせていただくという、そういう流れになってるんですけれども、このいろんな場所に移動したりとか、移動費だったり、宿だったり食事だったり、いろんなことがすごくやっぱり経費としてかかってくるんですね。その経費をどうにかなんか賄えないかということで、アミリアが、クラウドファンディングを立ち上げたので、私はそのクラウドファンディングのサポートをこの YouTube を通して皆さんにお伝えしたいなと思いまして、それで今回この会を開かせていただいたんですね。はい。ですので、アミリアがなんかクラウドファンディングを作ったということで。
Time I've ever crowdfunded, inspired by Sister Miko. I think it's
so challenging.
I think it's really important and needed now more than ever. I feel there are a lot of people around the world, people that come from wealth or people that have maintained or manifested abundance that want to help Indigenous and keepers of the sacred, and those that are protecting the sacred, and those that are revitalizing and recovering ancient knowledge systems, and those that are serving in higher ways to bring peace and healing to both earth and people. I think there are a lot of people out there that have wealth that want to redirect and help support grassroots movements and gatherings. I think, with this kind of work, it's never been about paid work for us, near Miko. It's divine service. It is divine service which requires resilience and devotion. So yeah, 10 days is a long time to be hosting. There will be 30 of us in total, as well as my kahui, my team that are hosting, and 20 invited guests from around the world, from sacred geologists that have been tracking and mapping 180 volcanoes around the world, to Kumu Ehulani, one of our elders and ancient chanter. I think it is. We're going to have our Shinto priestess family return from Kyoto, shaman coming from Mongolia, sisters Taino Ne Whānau from South Africa, and also from Mount Shasta. So we're still confirming our numbers, but it's in vast outtakings. It is many months of organizing, and it's a lot of work. So I think for us, anything is supporting and goes toward hosting and looking after our outgoings, yes, our financials. So anything is so greatly appreciated.
シェアをありがとうございます。私もですね、よくクラウドファンディング得意でもないんですけれども、もうなんか必要に迫られて、もうそれしか方法がないっていうぐらいいろんな世界の案件が押し寄せてくるんですよ。あそこに行かないといけない、ここに行かないといけない、ここで祭りをしないといけないみたいなね。去年もね、7月15日に突然私がフランスのね、誰も知らない村で土地から祭りをしろって頼まれたので、お祭りをするので皆さんぜひご寄付お願いしますっていうことで、200人ぐらいの方々がこの会ったこともない私のね、ことを信じてくださったりとか、本当に遠い彼方いろんな国々からね支援をいただいて、やっぱりその応援のエネルギーが届くんですよね。でそのみんなのそこの場にいなくてもやっぱりエネルギーはつながるので、今回このまたニュージーランドでこういうことがあるっていうのを、シスターのアミリアからお聞きして、私自身も参加するとても大切なセレモニーだと思っておりますので、彼女がね今回初めて、ファンドレイジングを始めるということを決意してくれたので、私も仲間としてこれを皆さんにシェアしたいなと思いました。はい、ですので、概要欄か何かにこのアミリアのクラウドファンディングを貼っておくので、ぜひ皆さんこの、虹の架け橋の予言が成就されますように、お祈りとともにお気持ちを送っていただけるととっても嬉しいです。私たちはこれからも、この地球においてとても必要なミッションを、虹の架け橋をいろんなところにかけて、進んでいきたいと思いますので、どうぞ応援よろしくお願いします。So, let's sing.
Aio ki te aorangi is peace to the universe. Aroha ki te aorangi is love to the universe. Koa, koa, koa ki te aorangi is joy to the universe. And pono is truth to the universe. Yes, in simple form.
All right. Let's do that.
All right.
All right.
Kita
haurangi ayu
kita
haurangi
aroha kita aorangi
aroha 来て青蘭義
こここ来たら
ここ来て青蘭義
の来たら
おの来て青蘭義
地平無理オラ。
Thank you so much, sister, for coming to my YouTube. Amiria でした。Thank you, sister Amiria. We see you soon.
来て。